Negative.
Negative 4.
Negative 4 din yung sa'yo? Oo, pareho. Okay.
Because of the minus 46, halos kalahati sa IA na putol.
Yes.
Sige. Okay. Please proceed to the page earlier. So it's negative 4 lower.
Yes, Madam
I saw it somewhere na 1/3. So it's not 1/3. I correct my statement earlier if I said so. Thank you. Proceed, please.
For the programs of policy formulation and planning, targets were exceeded due to the increased development of national and local tourism plans and the higher demand for technical assistance from both requests for both LGUs and non-LGUs. This included requests for site assessments, statistics, and support in crafting local tourism development plans. For the tourism industry training, the overachievement was largely driven by the implementation of the Filipino brand of service excellence, which required extensive nationwide training. Some programs were also co-organized with industry stakeholders, further expanding the number of training activities conducted and participants reached. For standards development and enforcement, the increase in accredited enterprises was attributed to intensive campaigns targeted toward accreditable establishments and tourism frontliners. High levels of compliance were also observed among accredited establishments, resulting in strong performance against targets. Finally, in market and product development, overperformance was driven by the conduct of more product development initiatives, trade development initiatives, and consumer activations than originally targeted. These efforts resulted in higher than expected accomplishments and expanded the department's reach in both local and international tourism. For the next slide, as of June 30, 2025, the DOT-OSEC obligated 1.32 billion out of 2.48 billion allotment, or 53% BUR, the highest mid-year utilization in the history of DOT-OSEC, with an overall disbursement rate of 62%. The next slide will provide you with an updated utilization rate for the DOT-OSEC. Yeah. As of September 24, the DOT already obligated 67% of its allotment. And the DOT-OSEC's budget over this slide shows you the DOT-OSEC's budget over the 5 years. The previous slide, please. Where our resources have adjusted alongside broader fiscal conditions. From 2.19 billion in 2020, allocations went down in 2021 by 17%, and in 2022, reaching a low of 1.59 billion. By 2023, the budget slightly improved to 2.43 billion, largely because of the 1.27 billion branding allocation that allowed us to relaunch the Philippines in international markets after borders reopened. However, in 2024, appropriations dropped again to 1.98 billion, or 19% lower than the previous year, with branding support reduced to only 200 million. This limited the momentum of our international promotions, even as the department maximized every peso provided. At the program level, market and product development still carried the biggest share, though at much reduced levels in 2024. Meanwhile, the policy and planning program rose to 787 million, reaching support for the implementation, reflecting support for the implementation of the DOT-OSEC ISSP implementation. while training and standards remained modest but fully utilized to sustain capacity building and accreditation. Despite these challenges, the department has shown high absorptive capacity, ensuring that limited budgets are consistently translated into tangible accomplishments for the tourism sector. For the next slide, the DOT OSEC has consistently, previous slide, shown strong absorptive capacity with obligation rates across programs generating high from 2020 to 2024. And the next slide shows that the effective budget utilization, as I stated before, as of September 24, 2025, utilization has reached 67%. This reflects the department's stronger absorptive capacity and sustained reforms in procurement and financial management. Building on our recent year performance in 2023 and 2024, we are confident that utilization for 2025 will remain on track to close strongly by year-end. For the next slide, okay. This refers to the historical funding for our branding campaign budget. So over the past several years, the budget for the DOT OSEC's branding campaign has fluctuated significantly. From 2018 to 2019, the program maintained a stable allocation of 1 billion annually, providing strong support for tourism promotion initiatives. However, beginning in 2020, the budget experienced substantial reductions, with appropriations decreasing to 803 million in 2020, 468 million in 2021, and further to 309 million in 2022. In 2023, the campaign received renewed recognition with a sharp increase in allocation to 1.2 billion, of which the department achieved a 92% budget utilization rate, underscoring the importance of revitalizing the Philippine tourism brand in the post-pandemic period. This momentum, however, was not sustained as the budget fell to 200 million in 2024. By 2025, the appropriation was further reduced to only 100 million, the lowest level in recent years. This downward trend highlights the urgent need to reassess the adequacy of resources devoted to branding. Given the highly competitive global tourism market, sustained and sufficient investment is essential to promote the Philippines as a premier destination.
I'll interrupt there, but please continue in our conversation. I just want to put it on record. Assuming we support you in your net proposal for branding for 500 million, if the image of our country are based on three, let's say, kinds of images or headlines: crime, corruption, and floods, how can a 500 million budget change that whole image when they see all the online, in all platforms, presentations, conversations of crime, corruption, and floods? Answer me later, Secretary. We want to support you, but we were talking, it would be such a heroic effort in DOT's part if you're able to change the national conversation and the global perception of our country from crime, corruption, and floods. Again, not your fault. And it's all our duty individually and collectively. Continue, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, the steep decline for the branding budget not only limits the department's capacity to mount large-scale and sustained branding initiatives, but also poses challenges in competing with neighboring destinations that continue to heavily invest in their tourism marketing campaigns. The trend underscores the importance of ensuring consistent and adequate support for branding if the Philippines is to strengthen its visibility and competitiveness in the global market. For the next slide, please. The next slide will show you the comparison of our branding budget with the tourism budget with that of our ASEAN neighbors budget. The Philippines tourism budget for 2024 stood at 52.1 million US dollars, significantly lower compared to its ASEAN competitors. Singapore allocated the highest at 431.42 million, followed by Malaysia with 262.87 million, Indonesia with $234.36 million, and Thailand with $167.90 million, while Vietnam provided a budget for tourism at $147.92 million. So these figures show that our neighbors are investing 3 to 8 times more than the Philippines in tourism development. So this comparison underscores the disparity in resource allocation across ASEAN countries.
Just a question. I am told that the branding for 2025 is not 100M. It's actually 400 million because there was an augmentation. 500. So 400 plus a 100 because there was an augmentation from the contingent fund. So your net proposal for 2026 is the same as your total 2025 GAA. Is that correct? Yeah. So there was an augmentation from contingent fund.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay.
The 100 million we are referring is those coming from the budget of the DOT, OSEC under GAA, while the 400 million
That's contingent fund
of
augmentation.
the Office of the President.
Yes. So but you did not state that. So,
Because
but you have to tell us what resources you have. Yeah. Okay. Just kindly correct that so that it's clear. So what you're asking for 2026 in the net is the same level of what you have for this year. Then kindly explain to us the branding. Of course, we would understand it. I have communications background, but explain to us how the branding is done, which agency does it. So that I agree, we should help improve, change the image of our country, and then we see. So all you're asking for is the exact budget that you already have, right, Secretary? The same, not more, but the same budget that you have.
Yes, to clarify, Madam Chair, 100 million appeared in the GAA for 2025.
Yes.
And so distressful was this meager amount in terms of promotions that we sought help from the Office of the
So
President.
there was an augmentation.
There was indeed an augmentation. However, this is yet to be seen in the last quarter of this year, considering that the FISARO was only released.
So it's not yet been utilized. Not
It's
yet
in the
released.
process of
Okay.
utilization still,
Pang implementation. Okay.
not in full.
Okay, just explain to us later, please, after
Yes.
the numbers. Thank you.
Madam Chair, that's about it for my presentation, and with the kind indulgence of the Chair.
Thank you very much, Yusek Sai. I would yield to the Chair of the Finance Committee for his questions first for the DOT. Then we proceed to each attached agency or GOCC after. So we talk about the whole DOT first. Ask the questions you want, then I'll ask Secretary or any of those in the panel. Then we go to TIEZA, TPB and TIEZA, then the other GOCCs. Thank you. Chair has the floor.
Yeah, I'll continue, ma'am, on the branding. Includes advertising or includes advertising?
That includes advertising.
That includes advertising because there's also another account in the MOE. It's 173 million? So how does that work? Isa lang ba yung branding, then advertising, or separate pa yung advertising?
Mr. Chair, it includes advertising. So for the 100 million, we have included country brand development, so the enhancement and activation of the Love the Philippines campaign, cross-market branding initiatives, the